gauge my thoughts on this sucker. Just one blogger's thoughts. All right, before we dive into today's video, you could stop by my blog. You're invited to. I'll invite you. Some people invite you after spamming you. It's all good, guys. It's all good. It's called bloggingfromparadise.com. I sell a course through there I'm focusing on now to promote, because a lot of bloggers want to know how to get high quality backlinks. Hence the spam and the still bedhead here. So I created a course called How to Get Featured on World Famous Blogs. So it's how to score really high quality backlinks, and that's available for sale under the store tab or the courses tab. I also sell ebooks. So a lot of bloggers want resources on how to go full time. Some individuals want to be digital nomads, and some just need an inspirational kick in the rump. So I wrote and sell rich, detailed PDF guides, once again, available under the store tab and under the ebooks tab at bloggingfromparadise.com. And I'm only affiliated with Gumroad. So that's what I'm really focusing on now. So that's it. Don't buy from anywhere else. They're not my affiliation. All right, guys. Should you quit blogging? This thought pops up in a lot of bloggers' minds from time to time. Been there. Didn't do that because I'm still blogging. Yet, I know what it's like at times to think, should I quit this gig? For so many different reasons. The real chief reason now, as the world would judge it, would be, will AI make blogging obsolete? AI blogging, using AI more frequently. But if you really think about it, and I hope you do, because it's really important to think, to use your mind, to make it really sharp and strong. It's mental muscle. It may appear to be abstract, but it's very, very real. In fact, it's the only reality. It is reality. It's all in your head, all in your mind. But if you're really thinking just general frustration with traffic, income, thinking that you're wasting your time, you may be working a full-time job and trying to get your blog going part-time, and nothing seems to come together. It may be really frustrating to you. Or you could be someone who's had quite a bit of worldly success and you've enjoyed the ride, but you just can't punch through to the next level. And you're thinking, should I quit this? What direction is this going in? So there's really all types of reasons for individuals, which is why I want to share yes and no. Now I'm going to start off with yes, which is probably surprising considering that I'm a blogging tips blogger. There's probably thinking, is Ryan driving away readers and putting himself out of business? No, he's being honest. How about that? Because you don't want to waste your time. If blogging is in your mind, according to your motivator, what you're looking for, a quick way to make money, yes, quit immediately, because it's not. You build your blog patiently, calmly, from a relaxed state of mind into a business asset that then works for you. While you're working, if you do it tremendously, phenomenally, then eventually you might get to the point where the blog works for you around the clock and you don't really have to do too much other than like spinning the top here and there. But forget that for now. Just think about it'll start working for you passively while you keep working on it, which is cool. So that's what blogging is. It's a business asset. It's somewhat similar, except you're putting in a lot of work, to having a retirement account, 401k, that type of asset. Now, when I say somewhat similar, I'm not talking about the work. It's a business, but you wouldn't say, oh, I'm going to quit my job because I'm going to go get a 401k and make some money off it. And forget the idea of, okay, you can't touch it till you're 63 or retirement age, whatever that is. It's lunacy to think that you're going to make a lot of money with the 401k as if it's traveling to Atlantic City or Vegas and playing the slots. It's not Jobville. It's like, come on, guys. Yet bloggers who aspire, a fair chunk really think this way. So if you're thinking that it's a quick way to make money, you could hack it, quit, do something else. If you need money quickly, quit or get a job. And it's a guaranteed way, as long as you're employed, to get money quickly. And that's called Every Thursday. And here's what you do at a job. You trade time for money. You trade tasks completed for money. It's very simple. Most of us are familiar with it. We've worked jobs or we know what a job is. So if you need money quickly, you'll get money every Thursday or every Tuesday. That's quick. So work a job. No, but a lot of bloggers say, no, or people looking, no, I want to do it on my terms. Well, guess what? Blogging has its own terms. And they don't give a rat's ass what your terms is, what your terms are. Oh, you will find that one out sooner than later. Blogging does not give a rat's ass about your timeline, your ego timeline, and how much money you want to make. And say, no business works that way. Even those who experience a meteoric rise in the rarest of rare cases, it just takes an immense amount of clarity and a willingness to do highly uncomfortable things. But overall, though, it's just going to be a total long-term, consistent, relaxed, long-haul journey, doing it the right way so the blog works for you. So quit if that's the case. You're looking for quick money. Do not quit. Stick with blogging if you really have fun with it, if you love it, if you love helping people, but you're just kind of in one of those panic phases where you feel like you're going to be shaken out as it could as if it could actually happen. Like you choose, but some bloggers are just like, man, this is fun. I enjoy it, but I'm really afraid for so many reasons. And that's usually a normal part of the journey. It pretty much is. We've all been there. So stick it out, guys. By saying stick it out, it is incredibly important that you, if you're panicking or struggling, go directly to an experienced blogger and either ask them to help you, ask them what you're doing wrong, ask them what you're doing right. And by wrong and right, I mean like, am I on the right track here? Am I screwing up? Like, this is a really important part, because if you're struggling and it's because you don't know what the hell you're doing, or you're really not following only advice from a successful, experienced blogger, it doesn't matter if you blog for the next 50 years. You will always fail, and then eventually you'll quit, maybe 50 years down the road. That is such an important point that it needs reiteration. If you decide to keep blogging, you're going through some struggles, you're panicking, nothing's coming together. The first thing you need to do if you're in a tough spot is to make a beeline for an experienced, successful, professional blogger. And either ask them outright, what am I doing here? Or if you're really afraid to ask for feedback, you're ashamed, you're embarrassed, you don't want somebody to disagree or teach or point out, you got to correct this because you're afraid to be criticized. Most really won't be critical. And even if they are, it's life. But really, most will just say, yeah, you don't want to do this, you do this, and boom, boom, boom. Or buy their courses, buy their ebooks, invest money in what works, and then take the course, read the ebooks, take notes, then do that. You'd be stunned at how many bloggers are like, I hadn't thought of that, or I don't want to do that, or I don't have them. All right, knock yourself out for the next 5 years. Why do I offer this advice? I've struggled in the past by not following it, and then when I decide to follow it, and I gained some steam, and it looks like it's going to rain here in Costa Rica. I'm going to take the dog out for a bit, but whatever. and I gain some exposure, it's mind-numbing how many bloggers wing it. I don't know why you'd wing it. I do know why, but why you decide to keep blogging, keep struggling, and then like, well, I'll figure it out on my own. Why you got to do that? I already figured it out. Not as some blogging oracle, but you're going to see that a lot of bloggers have a lot of experience. They stick to some basic, they have different strategies overall, but some basic patterns like publish detailed, targeted, long form content, engage in genuine blogger outreach, create content on site, blog posts, and then off. So you're going to start seeing like, oh, I'm not doing any of that. And I'm like, oh, whoa, eureka moment. So that's what's really important right now. If you're struggling, you decide to keep going, make a beeline for a successful professional blogger, invest money in their courses, their coaching, or their ebooks, dive in, learn how to succeed, start doing that, or ask them for feedback, or do both, or read their blog posts. Like the resources are there, but you got to use them. And now that we are approximately 10 minutes in and the storm's brewing, I don't know. You never really know here. It's in Costa Rica. It's just supposed to be dry and things just blow up fast. So it's the tropics. AI blogging, or just AI, right? Artificial intelligence. A lot of bloggers are afraid that AI is going to take over blogging. AI is going to take their jobs, going to make humans irrelevant. And here's my perspective, which is probably different from a lot of bloggers' perspective, but I do a lot of deep thinking about it. A lot of thinking. Blogging is as important as it's ever been to prove that you're not AI blogging. Well, that's sure a different perspective, isn't it? Talk about maybe someone who's thinking right side up instead of upside down. It's also the product of posture. Been doing this for a very long time. I've seen a lot of seeming collapses, the death of blogging. And it's all very funny to me because it's all fear. And fear is an illusion. It's not real. Appears to be, seems to be, but only in the mind of the fearful person, the fearful being. So when you've seen everything under the sun for 16 years, nothing scares you. Because you just see how fear works, how the ego works. Well, this is going to be end of this. This is going to be end of that. Now, there's definitely growth and advancement and evolution in the world that I do respect if it is fulfilling and truly beneficial for human beings. If it builds credibility and trust and adds compassion, empathy, human experience that's genuine and authentic because it's been vetted by the blogger who's a human being, all for it. AI does none of that because it is something called a computer program. Okay? It's artificial. Please look that word up, my young blogging Padawans. My young blogging Padawans. And anybody who's panicking is very young, because anybody who's been in this game for a minute, at least who has strong emotional intelligence and has been in the game for a minute, you'll start looking up the word artificial. You'll look it up. You won't start. You'll look it up. And then you'll be like, oh, now I get why Ryan has been saying this for a long time. Should you quit blogging because of AI or AI blogging? No, because blogging is as important as ever to prove that you're not AI, to prove that you're not an AI blogger. That's called taking something that most of the world's scared of, flipping it right side up to say this is the reason why blogging is as important as ever. Now, what is my logic? Humans trust humans. When somebody buys something that you offer, They are somebody, correct? A body, a human, a person. When the payment comes to it's wired to your bank account based on the commission check, the commission wire. It's wired to your bank account, or you get it through PayPal or whatever the platform. A human being who had money. Human beings have credit cards, they have debit cards, they have PayPal accounts, they have banks, they have this. That's a human being made some type of trade with you. Now, a lot of you are nodding. I know that, but you really have to apply this now to the concept of AI blogging and why you shouldn't, why it's as important as ever to blog. Blogging is important to prove that you're not a blog. The only way you will ever make money through a blog is to gain the trust of a human being, since artificial intelligence does not own a bank account. It does not own a PayPal. It can't own a PayPal. It can't own a Venmo. It can't hide money under its bed if you go that route. It can't have a Bank of America account. So it can't have credit cards, at least as of now. And I'm not being sarcastic. I'm being literal and logical. This is how you use logic. So AI doesn't have money. It can't have money. It's artificial, so it's made up. It's a program. The ones who actually help you make a penny, if that, or a lot more, are human beings, so you have to earn their trust. Let's use it. So if a human being needs to trust your blog, and AI does nothing that a human being can do, human beings, no, I strike that. Human beings do what AI could never do. Strike that. Human beings have a divine center, empathy, compassion, human experience. They vet it with human experience. So that's all a human can do. AI can never do that because it's zeros and ones. Based on this logic, it is as important as ever to prove that you're human, so you don't get crushed by the wave of human beings with the money who will say, this is another AI blog. I don't sense that it's human. I don't sense that it has empathy. I don't sense that it has compassion. It's not injecting personal stories. It's not injecting. It doesn't feel like intuitively, and every human who's reading your blog has intuition. They're going to read it and feel like intuitively, I don't feel like this is a human who did this and vetted the experience. So let's talk about me, all right? Just as a practical example, as an alleged human being in time and space. We'll go into A Course in Miracles and reality later, but some other time. When you check some of my Facebook updates, you'll see how I think. I created and sell a course called How to Get Featured on World Famous Blogs because I was featured on world famous blogs many times, and human beings kept asking me, how do you get featured on these sites? So then I created a course that's in-depth and rich to lay it out for other human beings because I vetted it. I'm a human being and I have that experience. Now, my charisma, flair, charm, whatever you want to call it, in all seriousness, in all truthfulness, my heart, my colorfulness, my authenticity bleeds through the course, you see? So when a human being buys it and feels resonance with me and my style, they'll see that not only have I done it, but you could just read it and watch it and feel it and go, oh, I could trust that. I trust that this guy did. And then I see it's been vetted, so I have confidence in him and in the strategy. And I will never be able to do that. It doesn't have a divine center. It's fake. It's artificial. It's ones and zeros. So why quit based on this logic? It's as important as ever to prove you're not AI, because more and more humans are not going to be fooled by something that doesn't have a heart, empathy, compassion. It doesn't have feelings. It's not created by the divine. Who you really are is. I'm not talking about religion here. I'm talking about common logical sense. feelings. Are you ever going to be able to recreate the divine with ones and zeros? It's kind of funny, isn't it? When you think of it that way. Now, if you're an atheist, what about your gut hunch? What about intuition? I don't believe in a God, but what about, and now again, if you don't believe in any of that and you're just like, it's a complete accident and I have no intuition and I just die and my existence ends or whatever, that's fine too. That's fine too. Believe as you believe. What I'm saying is, and just giving the bulk of this live broadcast to the AI thing, because it's probably the number one reason, you need human trust by being a human, writing like a human, writing compassion and empathy in order to make a penny. And humans are sniffing out AI as easily as ever. Medium just banned our AI articles. Google slapped down. LinkedIn and Facebook are seeing if it's profitable, and big money's backing, and that's fine. But in the same way, everybody's going to basically, as far as blogging now, I'm just saying blogging application, it's so easy to see that everybody's going to turn tail predominantly. It's already happening. But if you need a human being, if AI can't buy your stuff and only humans can, and you're trying to fool them with something that has no qualities of humanity, you're going to run into a lot of trouble. And you're already seeing red flags if you're really still on the AI blogging side of things. Google, Medium, but forget what they're doing because they're going to try to follow the profits, and that's okay. That's what the world does as far as big business. I'm talking about you. Another reason why it's as important as ever to blog, to run a WordPress.org blog that you run, human blogging, to prove that you're not AI, is because you, like I mentioned before, you have to differentiate yourself. No, I forget. Train of thought. The money. I can't use the money. Human being, standing out, empathy. AI blogging. Oh yeah, you sound like a million other bloggers. That sounds smart, right? You want to sound like 500,000 other bloggers? I mean, to the T. I'm talking about posts starting with nowadays. And I don't mean the bust balls, but I kind of do, because I see the comments on social media. I see the comments on bloggingparadise.com. I see the blog posts, and I come across them. I don't read them, but I say, do these bloggers who use AI realize that thousands to tens of thousands of other bloggers are using the same AI with the same prompts, and they're sounding more and more like each other? And do you realize how easy it is to get ignored, to be looked past, to never be trusted again? Imagine if your blog disappears from the minds of human beings. How much money are you going to make when you disappear? Quality traffic. By quality traffic, I mean humans. Like literally, it is the quickest way to fail. You see how I think? This is how I think, because I think very deeply. A bunch of bloggers using the same prompts. I've seen talented bloggers who use more of it are shooting themselves in the foot because their talent and authenticity and unique voice is they're choosing to water it down, because now they're using identical prompts to tens of thousands of other bloggers. This is a common form of egoic self-sabotage. It's happening on an unconscious level, because a lot of these bloggers were so creative and colorful, and now they're starting to use the same prompt, so they're starting to sound like the other bloggers because they're so afraid they're going to miss out, and they're so afraid they can't brainstorm and set up outlines now beautifully before the AI, and now they're starting to sound like everybody else. Why would you do that? Self-sabotage. It's unconscious. I'm afraid I'm not enough. I'm afraid I'm going to miss out. So let me sound like everybody else that guarantees I do miss out. Or at least take it to heart. You guys know by now that I do a lot of mind training. Or maybe you don't, but especially if you follow me for a while and you see how I'm like always out of my comfort zone. Circled the globe for 13 years, a digital nomad before it became a thing with the, Instagram double D girls on the infinity pools and coconut shakes on that. And that's all well and good. You guys see my selfies, but you also see a very different digital nomad here. Not just because I've been wearing the same gym clothes for the past 13 years as my wardrobe. I'm very truthful about the life and the deeply you can see. I get a lot of minds, and it's like, is there vacancy? Is there no vacancy? There's no no, there's vacant. It's a lot of emptiness, and I'm not talking about a lot of people. I remember Bob Proctor, and I forget if it was actually him who said it before he passed on, or he quoted somebody else. I think he was quoting somebody else who said most people would rather die than think, and they do. There's no sarcasm. It's not a joke. It's not. It's not true. It's not true, right? It's not true. Most people would rather die. They just go through their life, follow, subjugate, AI blogging. Oh my god! And what I'm doing, what I've been doing for 16 years as a blogger and 10 now with blogging from paradise. It'll be 10 in a couple months, I think in July. When I founded it, created it in Fiji, 2014. Is encouraging you guys to really think through blogging and think through AI and using it and think through before you quit what in my mind is my motivator, what's my driver, why am I doing this? Really think. And I spent so much time 2351 on AI because it's one of the big fears, but you got to start no matter what you're doing saying to yourself, why the hell am I doing this? Or why am I doing this? In some cases, if you're really frustrated and you're doing it for money, quick money, or you want to leave your job, you're forcing things, rushing things, you just got to say, okay, I have a passion for it. It's fun. I enjoy helping people. I'll keep doing it, but I think it's time to ask Ryan some questions through his message, or I think it's time to buy one of Ryan's ebooks, or maybe buy his course and start learning from someone who has a lot of experience. And I do. And when you see a lot of bloggers out there, not many have been around for, as do some bloggers who've had a great amount of worldly success, who've largely been on the ball. The past few years, I've kind of noted, not from any grievance or condemnation, but some of them just aren't quite as on the ball. A lot of them are, but some aren't. When who's active, you see me do these live videos. That's important. That's somebody who really cares. And not that a lot of the top bloggers don't, they person, cheese and crackers, and they have experience. Don't overlook them because they're the type of people that will be honest, loving and caring, but honest and direct. And they'll teach a genuine, authentic style based on being truly helpful. And I really want to sum it up with that, guys. Blogging is developing this what you're going to have to eventually do, what you may be doing, or maybe you need to gain some more clarity in that department and really start adding some skills and depth and meat to your posts in order to accelerate your success to where you be having fun with it. I'm going to stick to this. I'm going to stick it out. I'm going to stick it out. It's pretty fun. And now things are coming together. I followed a professional and I followed his advice only, or her advice. And blogging is a skill that's predominantly based on being truly helpful, creating helpful content. Of course, there's blogger outreach, creating products and services, but the content is everything. And you have to have the intent to be truly helpful and develop the skill of learning and practicing how to write a really detailed, thorough, clear, concise, long form post and doing that consistently for a long time because it's a business. So when you get into that frame of mind and it's not some hustle or a way to leave your job quickly or way to make money easily, it's not, because when you try that, you're going to get smacked down. You're going to be crushed because you're skipping all the steps required to actually earn credibility. Again, the money aspect. What do you remember? Another thing to remember about AI blogging, guys. You see bloggers that use, but look at their testimonials of human readers. Let's see those. Let's see their human readers saying, "Man, I love being oh, I love that this person fooled me." So they sign their name and then they use something they paid $40, $50, $60 a month, artificial, to recycle words. And, oh man, what a great guy. That's someone I want to follow. Let's see those endorsements. You don't, because nobody wants to look like an asshole. And ultimately the AI blogger and or the reader. So that's what's funny about that too. It's when you really think about, it's a foundation of fear, so it's a foundation of quicksand. And you're seeing the chinks, and it's just a reminder, guys. It's as important as ever. Blogging has never been more important, more relevant, and more beneficial to you to prove. I'm not going to be fooled. And think of it, you to where they'd show up and endorse you for using AI, making them look like assholes. Pardon my French, but if you care that little about your reader, they're making important, informed decisions. Integrity, my blog, my authenticity, very seriously. The bamboozlement, the hijinks that go online. I lived through the whole internet rich jerk stuff with it. Most of you probably don't even know what the hell that is, but from a long time ago, I started blogging. Let's say the pure Wild West of the internet marketing, blogging. And my point is, I've always done my best to blog with the utmost integrity, to vet everything through me, not just to be your guinea pig, but to say I've done it because it's me. And if anybody has a problem with that, critics, that's fine. Bother me because I did it. So it's like them saying, you didn't do it. You and critics are. And it's like, well, actually I did. So who's the insane one, right? That's why, but you have to do it with authenticity. You have to say, okay, I've done it. So it's like, not a guy. And I'd be like, I'm pretty sure I'm a guy. I'm pretty sure I've been featured on world famous blogs. And yeah, they've removed some of the links because it's a number of years, but Forbes, Fox News Entrepreneur, they're there. They were there, as seen on. AI blogging is the opposite of being genuine. You're literally not doing anything for a program that spins the content. So think of how disrespectful that is to your readers who could be making very informed, important decisions. You don't have to be your money, your life blogger to publish content that is potentially informing a human being to make a very important, a very genuine, a life-changing decision. Absence of respect you have for another human being You care about them so little that you'll use artificial intelligence, works, quote unquote. I mean, it doesn't, but yeah, just like be able to publish all this content. And, all right. So you're gonna use AI to spin a post. These people making serious decisions. You care about them to that little degree. When people read my stuff, I know they can be making very important decisions, leaving their job, starting this part-time, stuff that scares the hell out of them. Frankly, I mean, we all have to face these deep fears if you want to do it genuinely. So I always have the peace of mind of knowing that every single. So I respect my readers to the point of I understand that some of them, the decisions they make, and that when my ebooks, my blog posts, this video can be making very scary decisions. Right, unless intuitively you're pulled towards that. So I created it. I lived it and I created it. And it's from my heart. And that's one reason why my readers love me and why a lot of them run through a brick wall to get my latest post. I don't advise that. It's probably easier to bookmark my blog. It's because they're like, that's a very genuine person who loves his readers enough to be very truthful with them, to be truthful, but to say, I've done it, or not only sell out, but trade that level of authenticity because I respect you enough to where I'm not just going to spend and $80 a month for that I barely look at, or I human edit it. That's another kind of funny thing. And when I say horseshit, I mean that my basketball coach, like it's not true. It's not genuine. It's not authentic. You're starting from horseshit. You're starting from something that doesn't come from here. So it's coming purely from here to get something from human, this outcome, the content, and I gotta get everything moving to me. You trade being 100%, that little part, like, oh, I'd like to get something out of it. I get that. But I mean, you just make it not about the process of being truly helpful for people. There's not that predominantly really pure intent. It's about what can I create to get something from them. And then everything just falls apart. So, guys, it does eventually. Believe me, I've seen a lot of bloggers come and go over 16 years. It's like a dinosaur in the offline world. Hence the rich jerk reference for anybody. I don't know if you'd see that, but no offense to rich jerk if he's still alive. And someone like that, I feel like he may have left this world cold by now. Love to everybody, guys. Ryan Biddulph here, Blogging Paradise. Call to action, stop by bloggingparadise.com, where I sell a course that I'm mainly promoting now, just because most of the bloggers out there, they want to know how to get these high quality backlinks. So it's a very helpful, thorough, in-depth, detailed course that breaks it down, how to do it without pitching. That's different. Building an asset that draws the highest quality backlinks in the world to you. Again, I do things very differently because I think very differently from most, but then there are a lot of thriving bloggers who have a lot of experience who do it that way too. So they're on board with that. So that, some ebooks for you for sale as well, the course for ebooks for sale, and then a lot of blog posts. So I love you guys. Signing off from beautiful Costa Rica.